Here we are once again. Shout out to all the fine people out there on this good old hump day. It's a Wednesday, and I know I don't do lunchtime with SloMo on Wednesdays, but here we are on a Wednesday, getting it in. Sorry, I didn't do a stream on Monday, and I feel like I missed one last week. I can't remember. I'm getting old, so I don't remember things like I used to. But we are here. And let me send out a little tweet, make sure everyone sees that we are live. And we'll go ahead and get this going. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, this is awful. All right. Anyway, okay. So yeah. Where's my chat at? Here we go. Thing is. Oh, Square got my first Ascendant gameplay up. Oh, let's do it. So I'll just get started while people file in. First topic of the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, for those still eating lunch at this time, is Ready at Dawn being shut down by Meta. Now, it was. I kind of figured this was something that was going to happen eventually. I mean, almost as soon as Meta announced their acquisition of Ready at Dawn, I thought that Ready at Dawn had made a really poor decision at that point. And I'll give you some further context here. Like years and years and years ago, I watched the interview of big game directors. And I think it was set up by GameIndustry.biz, but they were just like all sitting in a little round table. It was a guy, the lead director for The Order 1886 was there. One of the lead narrative director for Obsidian was there. I think somebody from Remedy was there, and they were all talking about the state of the industry, the state of being a independent developer, and that's a AAA developer or like high AA, close to AAA, and just how difficult it is to kind of stay relevant, be able to do the things that you're trying to do, be able to make the kind of games that you want to make. And they were doing this, they were talking about this, and they got to the topic of acquisitions. And this was like literally like maybe, I think the interview was done before Microsoft acquired Obsidian, but it came out after the announcement of the acquisition. But I do believe the young lady, the narrative director for Obsidian, who was there, was aware that Microsoft was going to acquire them. Actually, take that back. It was after the acquisition, because there was something specific that she said about how being acquired by Microsoft didn't change their culture, which, I mean, I don't know if she would feel the same today as she did back then. But this is what she said, and the guy that was there from Ready at Dawn seemed really intrigued by it all. And at the time, he said they were not interested in being acquired, by the way he was talking. I kind of felt like, he was just giving corporate speak, like it wasn't really real what he was saying. And then not too long after that, they got acquired by Meta. Now, Meta makes, of course, the Oculus, and everything they do in gaming either is they're using Facebook as a streaming service or VR. And I've never really believed in VR. Like I think it's a viable platform, but it's still a nascent platform. It's not a big time thing. It's not something that's going to get people, like a large number of people, the greater gaming audience, invested in it. And Meta, I mean, they did what they had to do. They acquired studios to make first party games for a platform that they were heavily invested in. It's still heavily invested in. So it makes sense. But when I saw the Lone Echo games, which look fantastic visually, I mean, as usual, their visuals are fantastic. Even now, the Order 1886, which came out like in 2014, looks better than the majority of the games that are in the market. It looks really good. And I think Digital Foundry did a video on how they did textures and how they used a very unique and at that time brand new process of doing like anthropic filtering and other things like that to be able to make the visuals the way they did. But you know, as beautiful as their games are, this is all about money. Shout out to Tiger King, said enjoy your lunch break. Did you make enough for me and Forte? Not at all. I made a chicken sandwich. Wait, no, that was a fish sandwich. Just leftover fish. It was from last night, so it was not like old fish. Leftover fish, and a Red Bull is all I had for lunch. I have been working like a Hebrew slave, man. Since early this morning, I've been working. I was talking with some people in Discord, still working. This is now just me taking a break, and I gotta get back to the grind. But I definitely will be playing something as well. So you come back later, listen later. Cool, Tiger King. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, no, I think that Ready at Dawn was just like a studio that, despite it all, despite the lack of sales, because I don't think any of their games really, that their original IP kind of stuff, Order 1886 didn't sell that great, and which is, I think, this is the main reason why Sony didn't go forward with a sequel. They didn't care about. I do. Let me not clarify that. Sony definitely cares about. They definitely care about Metacritic scores, and the Metacritic score for that game I thought was a little bit too harsh. I mean, it got like a 60 something. And the game is not like the highest criticism of the game is it's too short, and the cover shooting wasn't like you different or unique enough. And I'm just like, how is that a 60 rated game? I don't get it. But like, I mean, that's where we're at with how some games are treated when it comes to reviews and whatnot. And so I thought it was rated a little too harshly. Didn't sell that great. I understand the business reason why they chose not to go forward with a sequel, but I actually liken the Order 1886 to Uncharted 1. I think Uncharted 1 is a terrible game. I do not like Uncharted 1 at all. I mean, maybe terrible is a bit too dramatic, but I think it's kind of mediocre. But you know, Sony gave Naughty Dog, you know, another shot, another opportunity to make it better, and they did. I think Uncharted 2 is the best game in the series, and when you kind of like never give. You never give a studio an opportunity to see where they may have went wrong and then do better and make the game better, make a sequel that like it actually addresses all problems. It does everything that it needs to do to be successful, and then that success is proven. It's weird that they don't do that anymore. It just, Sony has had multiple games as well as Microsoft. I think Quantum Break should have had a sequel, but when it doesn't make money and you spent too much money on the first game and then it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, this is what people do. This is how they treat it. Gregor says SloMo been working hard, but not harder than his stomach trying to digest a Happy Meal. Good grief. Where are we? I would never eat a Happy Meal. That's one. But good grief, Gregor. This controller aim assist gameplay. I'll say this about the First Descendant. I'm still trying to find myself comfortable with where the controls are. It's like if I don't have like all sensitivity and aim assist set to max, I feel like I'm overcorrecting, trying to get my aim to where it is. And, you know, it's a looter shooter. The shooting aspects of it are always like secondary to the abilities, how stuff works. I mean, like Bunny, primarily the way people use Bunny is they're running around and jumping. They're barely shooting a gun, you know. And J-Bear, who I was using, you know, his turrets do the vast majority of the damage. Anyway, but I've been playing a lot of First Descendant. I do need to make more videos because I'm kind of slack on the aspect. I got 2 videos that I want to work on. One is talking about how I believe Nexon should implement a trade system or a trade market, or allow a trade market to be cultivated for the First Descendant community. I mean, they borrowed so much from Warframe. The one thing I really think really helps Warframe when it comes to the RNG and the grind for loot is the market, the Warframe market that allows people to make trades in order to get the things that they need to kind of build Warframes or build weapons or whatever that they're trying to do. And First Descendant is actually more grindy on that aspect than Warframe is. When you want to build a Warframe and you get like those void fissures, like the void fissure to get the blueprint you get it, and then you may have to gather materials from there, but like the materials to get are pretty easy. In the First Descendant, it's like RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, where you need to get amorphous material to have a chance at the item that you want, and then even getting the amorphous material is not a guarantee. So there's just way all that RNG, and your only recourse to not have to skip any of that is to just buy it straight from them, which is overpriced, in my opinion. So I think they need to add a market in. And I got another video where, damn, what was my other video about? I forgot. It'll come back to me. But I got 2 videos in the pipeline I'm working on. Gregor says they need more diverse content. And yeah, I think that's coming, because they've talked about before the game launched about how they were already working on the post game content in before the game had even launched. So I think we probably will get more content. If not before the year is out, then like early Q1 2025, but we'll see. I do think that they should like, I mean, not rush it, but if they need that content sooner rather than later. I don't think the numbers are dropping at all or anything like that, but once people start building out their favorite Descendants and min-maxing them, like I've got close right now, I've got Ajax, Vessia, J-Bear, and Bunny to a point where with Bunny I still need to get the Transcendent mod, but I got Transcendent mods for the other 3, and I'm kind of really enjoying where they're at. Once people start to get bored of that content loop, you need to have additional content that kind of keeps people engaged. Says some patterns can only be farmed in stealth. Right, right, right. I hate that. Like those ones with the like the little there's like these three machines and like if you could don't and basically you need Sharon to do that and she goes invisible and then she like turns the machines off. I mean, you could blow them up if you want to, but you just get lit up by in hard mode by all the enemies that are coming after you. Anyway, this is not about the First Descendant. I Ready at Dawn. I really would have hoped that I wanted it at one point, and maybe they'll do this. I don't know, maybe because they until Dawn is the remake is being done by I think Ballistic Moon. I think that's the name of the developer, and Ballistic Moon is a studio that was kind of born out of the disgruntled devs of Supermassive Games who didn't really agree with the direction that Supermassive was going. Supermassive made Until Dawn. Sony was like, yeah, we ain't really down with the direction y'all going. They stopped being a second party developer. And Ready at Dawn has been bought at this point. The founders have been kicked out. Who knows what's going on with Supermassive at this point. But Ballistic Moon is doing this remake. They got a movie for Until Dawn. And you can see where Sony's approach, where they're leveraging a lot of the strengths that they have with like music and movies, Sony Pictures, to kind of cultivate these IPs a bit further. You can see where that's really working for them with Until Dawn, and they got a movie coming, they got the remake coming. More than likely, if those do really well, there's going to be a sequel. They could do that with the Order 1886. You play that game, it's got a really great lore. It's got vampires, it's got werewolves, it's using the Knights of the Round and Percival and Lance, like all these different, like, it's got shadow organization kind of stuff going on. It's got Tesla in there as your gadget dude making stuff for you. It's a dope universe, and I could see it being like a Netflix series or something, you know, like it could work. I think they just gotta actually believe in it and believe in the IP, and then get like, maybe now that the studio is defunct, maybe go talk to a good number of those former Ready at Dawn devs that are looking for a job, make a little studio, you know, make a contract with them, support them, don't buy them outright, but just kind of make them like a second party developer, see what happens. Make a remake. You know, see how that works. Or just go ahead straight up with a sequel. There's some kind of some kind of prequel that ties in the story, because there's clearly a lot that went happened in that universe prior to that. So I ran out of presets. I'm not giving them money. Yeah, me too, man. Like some of them characters I got, like I'm just not like Sharon. I'm not interested in min-maxing Sharon. So yeah, I had her on a preset. I took her off. I'm not doing that. What's up, Ice Queen? How's it going? Hope you're having a good hump day. But you know, sorry. I feel bad for Ready at Dawn. I hope those developers land on their feet. Just kind of goes to show that a lot of these developers that choose to get acquired so that they don't have to worry about how to keep the lights on. It's only for some of them delaying the inevitable, unfortunately. What else we got? Jedi Survivor. So look, man. Freaking Jedi Survivor is coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in September 17th to be exact. EA and Respawn. You know, look, Respawn's a good developer, and I've given them a lot of props for going out of their element, out of first-person shooters with the Jedi Fallen Order, Survivor games, which are really, you know, quality games. Jedi Fallen Order I really, really enjoyed. I've never finished Jedi Survivor, and here's why. I haven't finished the game because on PC there was this bug, and every time I got near my ship to go off to the next portion of the game, the next, story beat of the game, my game would crash every single time. And I even like I uninstalled and reinstalled the game. I went back to a even earlier save, so that I had to do the trek back to my ship even further, and I still would get that crash when I got near my ship. And I put the game down and I said I'll wait. I'll wait and see what's up. They clearly they're going to fix this. They never did. And even worse is that it seems Respawn is just done trying to update the game even further. I don't know why. And probably EA said, leave that alone. We want you to work on this port for hardware that's 11 years old. But I laughed when I saw it, and I think I already kind of knew that they were planning on doing this. I can't remember where I saw it or heard it, so it wasn't like a shock, but it just kind of came back into my mind about like the state of the game. And yeah, sure, there are some people who are like, oh, but they patched it on consoles, and again, it's better on consoles. They didn't patch it on consoles. Let me tell you what they did. They took out the ray tracing. And again, now, I'm not trying to throw shade at Respawn, but whose bright idea was it to have ray tracing permanently on with no option to turn it off on a freaking console? Like, you're telling me that you actually played the game before launch and thought that was in a good state? It was awful. And it was awful because you got an Xbox Series X or S and a PlayStation 5, which are already AMD hardware, which doesn't do good with ray tracing anyway. You have zero upscalers on consoles, and you're trying to force ray tracing. Are you stupid? What's wrong with you? And so all they did on consoles was turn the ray tracing off. They didn't optimize the game they just turned ray tracing off. And so people was like, oh, well, it's smoother. Well, sure it is. The hardware is not struggling to do ray tracing while it's struggling to do this Unreal Engine game. But that doesn't mean it's significantly better. They didn't optimize the game on consoles. And it's been proven through videos from Digital Foundry, other tech tuber videos that kind of break this stuff down. They didn't get the animations correct on PC or console, so the animations, the running animation, which already the main character in the game, when he runs, he looks like he's running to the toilet because he gotta take a dump or something. The running animation already looks funky as it is, and it looks worse because it's not smooth and the animation stutters, and it's just good grief. This game is in a terrible state. And even now, it's still, because I had people pushing back they fixed the game, SloMo. What's your problem? But what is the issue here? And I'm just am I in the Twilight Zone? Did I? Is this a different multiverse? Did I slip into a different multiverse? Hello, wait a minute. I know people have been complaining about this pretty frequently, so I had to go, you know what? Let me pull up Steam. Let me look at the Steam reviews. Maybe since I uninstalled the game last year out of anger and never looked back, maybe this game had some patches in that period of time that fixed the game. Maybe I'm wrong. And so I went into Jedi Survivor on Steam, and I looked up the reviews. Oh, recent reviews, mixed. Oh my gosh. Here's the funny thing. I'm seeing the review from May 20th from the homie Ramon Terrell. Can I pull this up? How do I? Let's see here. There we go. Oh, I don't know. Probably can't can't blow this up. Is there a way to make it bigger? No. Anyway, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me show y'all this real quick. So this is the reviews through Steam. Right here is the homie Ramon Terrell. I don't know if he wants to be showing his Steam tag, but whatever, right? So anyway, he said the content in this game deserves 5 stars, while the optimization deserves 1 star. It hitches terribly at any cutscene and also suffers crashes. This is a poor technical job that marks an otherwise fantastic game. You know what? Thank you. That was very helpful of you, Ramon. Very, very helpful. What else here? What else here? August 3rd. This was just 4 days ago. This guy has got, he's only got he's got like maybe 20 minutes in the game on the record. Ramon had 33 hours in the game. Pros: huge improvement in combat from Fallen Order, likable characters, decent story, fun and challenging side objectives, good replayability. Got rid of the annoying backtracking from Fallen Order, which I agree, that was annoying. Cons: optimization is total garbage. Steam overlay does not work. Game crashes like there's no tomorrow. Still no auto or quick save system. Dealing with crowds of enemies can be a massive pain. That's kind of a skill issue, sir. I'm not going to, you do you. But pretty obvious here that, optimization is still a problem. This one gives the game a thumbs up. And I don't know why he did his review like this. This is weird. But okay. He says, bugs. The game itself is a big terrarium for bugs. Good grief. That's a way of saying the game is buggy. This one is from July 27th. There's probably enough people complaining about the EA launcher here just because it exists. I'm here to complain because it won't let me play the game. First, it requires me to log in, then I have to receive a code through email, a worthless hassle. I have to jump in all these hoops. This how it's been downloaded to your device. He can't even play the game. But he's got 120 hours on record. I don't know how he's got all those hours and he's talking about he can't play the game. Maybe he played the game and then now he can't play it, which I've seen people complain about before. What a great game, completely ruined by unacceptable performance. Look, what it comes down to, it's a buggy mess. And these are recent reviews from people. Brian E says, so play it on PlayStation 6. That's not out yet, Brian. You got probably about 4 years before that comes out. So that's not really an option for people. Gregor said that the only issues I had was frame rate dips and the Jawa's faces were floating behind their heads. Wow. It's a very interesting skill they have there. He said there are abilities for crowds. Yeah, that was definitely a skill issue for that guy. The guy's complaining about crowds of enemies. I don't know what to tell you, bruh. Get good, maybe. I don't know. But it's just like, I didn't have any issue with the gameplay. I thought the game was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. I want to finish it because I was enjoying the game. But I'm not... Well, wasn't enjoying was the massive amount of bugs and performance issues. The performance did get better because it was very CPU bound at launch, and then I was also in between that and I think while I was playing the game, I built a new PC, and my new PC, even on my new PC, the performance wasn't great, but they did improve the performance on PC dramatically, and I think I was playing at 1440p and triple digit frame rates, but it's like, here's the thing, the details that go with that. Triple digit frame rates is fine. That doesn't mean that you won't feel like a frame timing issue at times. That doesn't mean that you won't have performance issues you clearly still do. And even though I was getting at 1440p, like averaging like 120 frames per second, I would have these massive frame rate dips into the 60s and 70s that when you go that drastic of a drop in 1 second, there's no way you don't see or feel that. It's very jarring. And that would happen. There was the whole animation issue bug that they never fixed. And then again, like I was still dealing with all of that, willing to keep going, playing through the game because it's a good game underneath it all. And it the crashing that didn't allow me to continue further is what really basically said, all right, I'm done. I had to throw my hands up. Gregor says, I didn't play it at launch. I know my PC was brute force of performance, so I would play it in small bursts because I usually figure a badly optimized game has memory leak. Well, yeah, a lot of them do have memory leaks. That's a very common problem. I think this one did have a memory leak at launch. They fixed that pretty quickly, though. That the memory leak issue, I believe they fixed. That was one of the first things they fixed after launch, but it still had, of course, a multitude of other bugs that are the issue. But it going to last gen consoles is just hilarious. Like guaranteed it can't run. They're gonna target 30 frames per second. Even on the Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro, I am pessimistic they will be able to hit that target of 30 FPS. Like I just don't see it. It's going to be one of those games that's like it may hit 30 every now and then, but it's usually somewhere in the 20s range. So it's what it is, man. Go ahead and chase that bag, EA. We know that's the only reason you were doing this, is you want this money. There's just nothing else, no other reason for it. You want to get paid. Oh boy. What was I about? I was about to do something. Uh-oh. Date. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find. Let's go with that. Hopefully this show's good. Okay, good. It showed. PS4's flying to the moon. That PS4 Pro already sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It already sounds like it's about to blow up. Can you imagine playing this game on that? You're gonna need to have sound canceling headphones. I mean, if you don't already, you would need them in order to play that game and be able to hear what the heck's going on. Cause otherwise you'd be in trouble. All right, so let's hit this other topic before we get to the last one. The PC CPU market. It's a hot mess, man. It is a hot freaking mess. The PC CPU market is complete buns. And you have two companies here who cannot get out of their own way. You got Intel, who created their latest two generations of CPUs, the 13th gen and 14th gen Intel CPUs, are basically killing themselves. They are prematurely deteriorating at a pace that's mind-boggling. The 14th gen was already just a refresh of the 13th gen, and they had to be shamed and threatened with class action lawsuits in order to just extend the warranty of those CPUs. Now, I happen to have one of those CPUs. I have an i7 13700K. Now, I do believe the vast majority of the Intel CPUs that are dealing with these issues are i9s, the i9 13900 and 14900 CPUs are the ones that are primarily getting these problems where people are getting this message saying they are out of memory, when they're not out of memory, and then the game will crash or their entire PC will crash, and it's getting progressively worse. Intel's supposed to be coming out with a patch, a BIOS update, I think, this month to kind of regulate the power usage issues that's going on. And like, none of these things should be happening. It's a lack of detail and a lack of quality assurance happening with Intel right now, which even if the 15th series, 15th generation doesn't have these issues, it should have never happened in the first place. And if the 15th generation doesn't have these issues, I see a lot of people like myself that's still just like, man, F Intel. I'm not going back to them no more. They're done. Because you just can't trust them. Now, you would think this would be the perfect opportunity for AMD to step in and really, like, I mean, they're already curb stomping Intel as is. This should be the final blow, you know, the killing blow to Intel and the CPU market. But instead, they release some new CPUs that have been reviewed in the past, like I think in the past day or two, or maybe some of them came out today, and they're barely improvement over the previous CPUs they've released. And it's just like, what's up, True Serum? What's up, Ramon? I was just showing everyone your review of Jedi Survivor on Steam. You know, you're welcome. AMD is not taking advantage of this situation whatsoever. They're doing the bare minimum, and it's just like, this. Can we get some good products out here? Is what I'm saying. I mean, can you work for the money, please? Like, it's what it's really showing to me is that people have always been very critical of NVIDIA and being like, oh, there's no competition, trying to shame people into buying AMD and Intel so that there's more competition for NVIDIA. I'm not going to say I've never done that before. But people are doing these things, and then they're like, well, if we don't do this, NVIDIA is going to get lazy, and then they're going to start giving us products that aren't a significant leap over the previous generation product. And then here's AMD actually doing that straight up. What in the Borderlands is this ugly map? I don't know, Gregor. Season 5 of Modern Warfare 3, they introduced these cell shaded maps. This one is an all cell shaded map. I forgot what this one's called. But like, they got some of the other maps, most of them the smaller maps, like Shipment, Rust. They got some of the smaller maps that they've done like a cell shaded version of those maps too. I'm not a fan of it either, but hey, you know, you just vote on maps. You can't just straight up choose which one is going to be. Either way, you know, Modern Warfare 3 is fun. But yeah, back to Intel and AMD. The real depressing part of it all, and I'll say this before I move on, the real depressing part of it all is that there really isn't anything that's going to change this anytime soon. Like, at least in the GPU PC market, even though Intel is far behind AMD and NVIDIA, them coming into the market with, although an inferior product, it's a product that is appropriately priced, aggressively so, that they were able to steal half of AMD's market share in the GPU market immediately. And people are looking at their new one that the new generation of GPU that's supposed to be more like on a mid-level end things. And people are hoping that, you know, that continues to kind of put some pressure on NVIDIA, because they do ray tracing better than AMD. They have a better upscaler than AMD. And if they appropriately price a mid to high range GPU, I mean, their biggest issue is drivers. I don't think they got quite a handle on that yet, but they're getting better. It's not going to be better than what Nvidia's 5000 series is, but if it's close, there's more competition there, and I'm down for that. I want more competition. All that said, right? There's nothing like that in the CPU market. It's just Intel and it's just AMD, and both of them can't walk and chew gum at the same time. And so that's just where we're at there with all of that. What? Ooh, wait a minute, that's 2 minutes long. Why is this 7 minutes long? Why did I record this? Is this the game? Wait. Is this the same? Is that the same one? All right, so what's this then? Changing weapons. It's just me changing weapons for 9 minutes. Why did I record this? All right, let me find something. Hold on, guys. I'll find some better gameplay. Oh, I hate that. That's the gun that. Okay. Anyway. See now, shut up, Gregor. Let's get to talking about, is the console market shrinking? Because I feel like there's this ongoing conversation with in the gaming community, and a lot of it is based upon, I don't think people are doing this intentionally, but I think they allow their biases to kind of push them along certain thought processes. They see information that supports their opinions, and they only see that information. And then when it comes to information that may contradict that, they apparently never see that stuff. So I just find that fascinating. But to really get down into it, we this year we've seen a lot. Basically, all three of the major consoles deal with some negative year-over-year growth. We know for a fact that what Xbox all year long has had double-digit negative percentages for year-over-year growth when it comes to hardware sales, when it comes to selling the Xbox Series X and S. It started at like 33% earlier this year, and then it was like in the 40s, and then it was again in the 40s with their most latest earnings information. Sony dropped their information this morning? Yesterday, something like that, maybe this morning, I don't know. And even the PlayStation 5 year over year drop of 27%. And so you got that, and you got the fact that the Switch is not selling at the same levels that it was just a year earlier. And people, they're just like, hey, see, this is why it's you see certain platforms de-emphasizing the hardware because nobody wants it. It's shrinking, and it's not necessarily true. There's these thoughts that like the new age gamers aren't for consoles. They're all about the mobile, Sorry. I just got some information. And about that specifically, about the new age gamers don't care about consoles at all. I want to kind of provide some information that a good friend of the show, a good friend of BRAP and DPS, Game Logic, provided probably about about 3 months ago. And so I'm gonna show it here. This is ESA Essential Facts, thing. And so it's talking about gaming platforms played by generation. And this is us well, depending on who you are. I don't know. I'm not aging you guys. I'm gonna say I'm here. I'm in Gen X. Luca would like to say I'm a millennial. I would tell Luca, mind her business. I'm a Gen X, right? So Gen X, and they got beige for mobile, or orange, tan, whatever that is. Blue for PC, dark blue, for console, and purple for virtual VR, which no one cares about clearly, right? As you see here, mobile is the highest for all generations, which is no surprise there. But then when you see who is engaged in consoles more than anything, it is Gen Z and Gen Alpha. It is the youngins. They are the ones that are playing on these platforms more than anything. So when it comes to who is actually out here playing, buying, getting these consoles bought, of course, Gen Z and Gen Alpha don't have the financial stability as the millennials and Gen X and boomers, whatever, right? To be just buy whatever they want. But we see what they're playing. And so when it comes to, well, as time goes on, the consoles will be less relevant because the newer generations that are coming in don't care about them. It's kind of not true. It's kind of not true. They care more about consoles than the Gen X and the millennials do. And there's no data that suggests that will change in the future. You may see some of them kind of shift towards PC, but as we see, they the highest ones on PC too. So it's interesting how, as I said, narratives get spun, because people will look for things that support their argument and ignore the things that don't. And when you present data that kind of really contradicts the things that people have been saying about console gaming, it's dying, it's going away, there's nothing we can do about it, it's over, it's a wrap. When people see that that's not necessarily true, it starts to kind of expose, well, why were y'all saying these things in the first place? Were you really just trying to create a narrative that defends the behavior of a particular platform? Because that's what I believe really is the issue here. It's not that, because let's look at PlayStation. Even though PlayStation year over year had a negative 27% drop with this current quarter compared to last quarter, they're still at 61.8 million PlayStation 5s sold, and they are slightly ahead of where the PS4 was at this point. The Nintendo Switch is selling less now because it's at the end of its life cycle. The thing has been out for 7 years. And Nintendo, even though they try to keep from mentioning it as much as possible, because if you mention you got new hardware coming, people are less inclined to buy your old hardware. But Nintendo has already, a while ago, already said, hey, look, we got a new Switch coming. It's coming next year. Be ready. If you know a new Switch is going to come next year. I mean, there's some people that still going to buy your special edition, whatever Switch. I don't know why, but they do it. But if you know there's a new Switch coming next year, you're probably going to wait to see what Nintendo has to say about what it does. Is it backwards compatible? What kind of technology is in it? Is it, how is it playing certain games? Oh, I heard Call of Duty will be available on it. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to wait until you know more information about this new hardware before you go buy another Switch. So of course hardware is down when the system is at the end of its life cycle and there's about to be a new piece of hardware coming out. You can explain why the hardware has dropped for those platforms. What's the explanation for the Xbox Series consoles? What's the explanation for Xbox saying no console, no problem? When you're trying to market Xbox cloud gaming on a Fire Stick, no console, no problem is not the way to do that. That's the kind of marketing that will make sense for like a Google Stadia. Google Stadia's entire platform was cloud. And it was actually a decent cloud platform. If for Google Stadia to say no console, no problem, yeah, absolutely. We don't have a console. And we're competing against Xbox and PlayStation. So yeah, you don't have a console, no problem. You can play these games too. That's a better marketing slogan than Microsoft that actually sells a console. I mean, I didn't think this needed to be like this should be basics marketing stuff. This shouldn't be that difficult to understand. Let's also add in that what you're telling people to not buy your console. You're telling people to not buy your console so they can pay $20 up front to try the Xbox app on Fire Stick. And more than likely get the worst cloud experience on the market right now. That's just not smart. But people take these things and they say, well, this is why they're doing that. They're doing that because, the market's changed and it's not about hard consoles anymore. You're either on PC or you're on a PC handheld or you're on mobile and everyone's putting their games everywhere. Not necessarily true. And it's just one platform that's doing that. And this is just the way the market's moving. And something that needs to be understood. Just because one platform is doing it doesn't mean that everyone needs to do what that one platform is doing. Nintendo won't even allow Fortnite to put Samus in Fortnite. Because they don't want Samus played on a PlayStation or a PC or an Xbox. They won't even take an obvious bag from Fortnite to just allow them to put Samus in the game. They're that protective over their IP. When they want you to think about Samus and Metroid, they want you to think about a Nintendo. I want to play Metroid Prime 4. You know where to find it. You don't even need to ask the question of where it is. You know where it is. At one point, Sony was so gung-ho about Spider-Man in gaming that they didn't want Spider-Man even showing up in a trash Marvel's Avengers looter on Xbox. It's not the same. It's not the same. The only platform that's putting their games everywhere is just one platform. And I've talked about how I felt that's a mistake, but I've talked about how I felt people would take just 4 games or even one game and turn that into, well, all the games are coming, whether they announce it or not. And that has happened. So, Gregor says most Fire Stick users don't have the attachment. They're running wired and not Wi-Fi too. Yep. If you don't own a console, why do you think that they own a controller? Think about that a second. You don't own a console. So you're so much of a casual gamer, you're so detached from gaming that you don't own a console. No one randomly just buys a controller without something to play it on. So if you don't have a console, you clearly wouldn't want to play it on. I mean, if you got a PC, why would you be doing cloud gaming on your Fire Stick, right? You don't own a console. Where are you getting the controller from? Because your Fire Stick 4K Max doesn't come with a controller, so it's just to sabotage your own products in order to get half-baked versions of your platforms. I think something that, and I don't want to make this all about Xbox, but I think that like what their big issue is that they try to be everywhere, but they haven't worked on making sure that the experiences on even just one of those platforms is the very, very best it could possibly be. Your Xbox app on PC is the worst launcher on PC. You've got the worst cloud infrastructure in cloud gaming. But yeah, you can brag about being in all these other places, but where your competitors aren't, like where they are, they make sure the experience there is exactly what they intended it to be. Whereas on PC app, you got people, Xbox gamers, who went to PC and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Steam. I got your game in Game Pass, but I'm gonna spend extra money on Steam so I can play it right. Because the Steam version got your game with more features than your own game. It's not a good look, man. So, I mean, draw all this back to, is the console market shrinking? Nah. You'll see, I don't think the PS5 Pro gonna sell like that when it comes out. I don't think that is, because I think it's going to be far too expensive for not a massive jump over what the PS5 is. I think it's going to be a minimum $600. And I think most people are going to be like, nah, I'm good. Your hardcore gamer is going to jump on that, of course, right? But I think the majority of the gamers out there, you can keep that. I'll just get a regular PS5. Switch 2, the Super Nintendo Switch, as I call it. I'm telling you, if that's the name, y'all heard it here first. The Super Nintendo Switch is going to sell like crazy. Scalpers are going to be out. They're going to be scalping it. People are going to be spending more than what the PS5 Pro is to get one. Cigna says Fire Stick is for stealing shows or subscriptions. Shh, don't say that. But yeah, you're right. Brian, he says, found it particularly funny that PlayStation got their cloud service to hit 4K res before xCloud. Hey, look. Like I said, every cloud service out there is better than xCloud. Every single one. GeForce Now, Luna, PlayStation, they're all better. But you don't see Nvidia saying marketing GeForce Now. No GPU, no problem. Nah, they just say, hey, look, here's an option. If you can't afford a big, 4080, well, hey, we got an option for you. We still want you to buy that 4080. Trust and believe. But if you can't, hey, here's $20 a month. We give you a 4080 in the cloud. We got the best cloud infrastructure over here. Enjoy. PlayStation does not want you to do cloud gaming in lieu of buying their hardware. Even Amazon was smart enough to see the mistakes that Google made with Stadia and say, yeah, we ain't doing that. Hey, look, we got Luna. Luna's great and all, but even our own games, we're going to put our own games on other platforms. New World, you can play that anywhere, bro. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Gregor says, I always thought calling it a Super Nintendo would get the old folks buying it. It's a genius marketing idea. I'm not just saying that because I thought of it, but yes, Super Nintendo Switch. It would hit the nostalgia button for us old heads. It would signify to the younger gamer that this is better than a Nintendo Switch, which it likely will be. I mean, come on, Nintendo Switch hardware was outdated when it came out in 2017. This is clearly going to be better, and it's going to have access to DLSS upscaling, which is the best upscaler. It's definitely going to be better. But like Super Nintendo's, ooh, I mean, it's the same marketing strategy they did back in the 80s. You got the Nintendo Entertainment System, you had the Super Nintendo. You knew what the difference was. Bring back the original Super Nintendo logo too. Oh, that would be dope. If they do, like, I guarantee they'll do like a special edition version, because I believe it still will be a hybrid, right? A hybrid handheld console, and you're probably going to get like some kind of version of it that's going to look like a old school Super Nintendo. Yeah, that would be. I mean, these are easy layup ideas that Nintendo could rock with. Well, we'll see what happens though. But you know how they are. They change their Joy-Cons. They have all different kinds of Joy-Cons, different colors, different versions. They come out with new ones for whenever they drop new games that kind of themed towards those games. You see the same people buying them over and over and over again. Shout out to Forte. Yeah, it prints money, man. Freaking prints money. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I gotta really say about it. Like the console market's not shrinking, bro. It's actually Matt Piscatella, where I think I retweeted it. Go find Matt here. Matt Piscatella says in the U.S. Wait. Yeah. He says in the U.S., PS5 is still 7% ahead of PS4, and Switch is only 1.1 million units behind PlayStation 2 in lifetime sales, and PlayStation 2 is the most sold console of all time. So at a time period where one of the active platforms on the market is being sold and about to become the highest sold console ever, people are going to want you to believe that consoles are stagnating, declining, and dying. It's not the case, man. And I'm not advocating that Microsoft stop making consoles. No, I think they should continue to make hardware. I just want them to make it better. And I just want them to market it better. And I want them to put in the work in that Nintendo and Sony put in markets that they are not familiar with in order to make sure that their product sells in those markets. I want them to do real marketing. I want them to do better localization of their games in those markets. I want them to do what their competitors do, which is basic for them to do, in order to make sure that the people in that market know who they are, what they make, where the games are, where to buy them, what they do. Is that too much to ask? I mean, and Matt continues on, even Xbox Series, for all of its known challenges, is holding close to Xbox 360's pace. So although it's not selling as great, and it's not selling great at all, it's still selling somewhat. And then we'll also see how college football, EA College Football 25 did for the console sales, because that wasn't available on PC. Nothing. It was only available on current gen consoles, no PC. And EA was very, very happy with its performance. They said, I think the Ultimate Edition, whatever edition that allowed you to play the game early, sold like 2 million copies by itself, and that was like $100 version. So think about that, how much money that is before the game officially even launched. And a lot of people bought consoles to play that. A lot of people bought Xbox Series S's and PS5s to play a game that was highly anticipated for like a decade. Now imagine when Call of Duty and 2K finally stopped supporting last gen. The people who are playing those games, 50% of PlayStation's active users are on PS4. Imagine how that's going to shift and change. When PS6 comes out and it's not on PC and it's only on current gen consoles, imagine how the shift would be. Ricker says the bar argument would need to say those people buying Switches and PS5s are only buying them because they don't need an Xbox because they have a Fire Stick. All right, we were supposed to play a game. Banishers. I have not done my due diligence, and which is load the game up first and make sure shaders have been compiled and all that good stuff. So let me mute that real quick, because the sound is probably, I need to make some adjustments here. But we're gonna get rocking with that. Have you guys played Banishers yet? Oh man, them fans is kicking. Gotta get this. Hopefully this does not bog the stream down. At the same time, hopefully we're still good while it's doing that. Okay, let me. All right. There we go. Oh. Why it freeze like that? Okay, sure. Whatever. All right, let's see here. Maximum frame rate 48. Have you lost your mind? Let's turn that off. TAA. Let's do DLSS. I'm streaming at the same time, so I don't want there to be any frame rate issues. Playing at 4K, I might need to drop that down. We'll see what happens. Now sound is definitely headphones. Cat Day lurk in the house. What's up, man? He said he had his little nephews over and he put them directly on the Fire Stick. Sir, I know you said no Diddy. We're not gonna allow that. We're not allowing that the rock. We're not doing it. Good to see you, man. Good to see you though. We gotta play something, man. NVIDIA Shadowplay is not giving me a frame rate counter. See, I'm trying not to the NVIDIA Shadowplay will show you your frame rate, and it'll kind of like it won't show in a stream. So I'm trying to be helpful to those who be all like SloMo. You always got your little frame rate counter up, ain't nobody trying to see that crap. And I tried to do that, and now it's not showing me my frame rate. So I gotta go to good old Riva Tuner. You guys can't hear this music. I wonder if it's too loud though, because I can hear it. Let me drop that down to like that. Some loud music. All right, so now let me put the sound in. All right, I think we are good to go. Jacob says, "Rest in peace, ready at dawn." Agreed, man. I wish I was going to be able to get another order, but it's what it is. 4K, 115 frames. I mean, this is the menu, so. Now, if I was Everborn Saga, this is where I'd be playing. Okay. I'd be playing right over here in story mode. I'd be playing 4 players who wish it, and you know what? And go run into Everborn. I said it. I don't care. He would play in story mode, and then he'd be like, "The game is too easy." I mean, I don't know if I like this game yet, so I'm gonna play it in normal and see what's up. Every game booting at maximum volume needs to stop. Facts, man. Be killing your eardrum. Especially if you're streaming and you haven't. This is why what I try to do. If I'm gonna stream a game, what I do is I boot it up first. I let the shaders compile, and then, oh, this thing crashed. An Unreal process has crashed. UE5. Shout out to Infinite Umbra and his favorite game engine. Good grief. I mean, like they showed me 2.6 seconds of a cutscene and then the game crashed. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Let's try this again. Just talking about games crashing, cat. Just talking about this stuff. Oh, I didn't realize it was waiting for me to hit the button. All right. Guess I didn't even make it far enough for it to remember that's what my difficulty level was supposed to be. Okay. Let's get past this door. My frame rate counter didn't come back up. God dang it. Okay. You know what? It is what it is.
Madam, sir, the ship lies at anchor off New Eden. A tender stands at your disposal.
Is this Europe? Dude got that European accent. Well, I know there's a lot of countries in Europe. Sounds very non-American. I say that. Good donut out here with the mixed race couples. They don't care.
Low over the sea.
People forget that Don't Nod actually made games that weren't just Telltale kind of games before. Hey, now I don't want to.
The abyss, in the darkest reaches of the deepest ocean.
I hope that there ain't no hot pocket invasions going on right now, because I'm not trying to get this stream
Good day to you, my love.
shut down by YouTube.
And a good day to you too.
Jacob says the game was mad at you for making fun of Everborn. I'll do it again. I'll make fun of him all the time if I feel like it. They're going to crash on me again if it needs be.
Welcome to America.
He said, "Oh, I'm safe. Good.
Something's bothering you.
Dang, what is up with her? I just realized like the right side of her body's got like
The
these
ghost is
scars.
commonly dangerous, or he would banish it himself.
And we shall charge him double.
I'm serious. If the Reverend needs help, this can be no easy business.
Wait a minute, isn't she the ghost?
You best be ready.
So when she jumped
Be
up
careful.
and straddled him, what if someone walked in and saw him like, you know, straddling a nothing? Yo. What's the problem here, yo? What are we doing here, yo? Oh my God! I don't know. Okay, this is crash number 2. Let's try this again. What is happening here, man? Oh. Is it? Okay, good. It's showing back up again. I can't get past the freaking opening cutscene. Kat says she's not dead yet if you're at the beginning still. Well, I got no choice but to be at the beginning, Kat. This game won't make it. I can't even move around. I can't even control the characters before this thing crashes. Gregor says voice acting sounds like it's for an audio book, not a video game. I keep forgetting that I could skip past all that. Frame rate counter never came back, even though Riva Tuner is still up. I almost kind of want to skip the cutscene. Like, I feel like, but then I don't want to be like, what the heck is going on? But I feel like it's something with this opening cutscene. And maybe it's because like I updated my driver yesterday, my NVIDIA driver, and maybe this, like they need to do a patch or whatever to get whatever is going on with the latest NVIDIA driver good to go. There's just no way for me to. It's not even allowing me to skip it.
A tender stands at your disposal.
Watch it on YouTube and skip. I'm hitting every button I can, Kat. It won't let me skip. So maybe for first cutscenes to completion you can't skip, and then afterwards you can skip it if you want to do a replay or something.
I dreamed of clouds.
But like without the frame rate count, like if it was like,
Low over the sea.
oh, there it is now. Ooh. Why is it using 15 gigs of VRAM? That's ridiculous.
I dreamed of the
And
abyss.
it's
In
using
the
almost
darkest
half of my RAM. My RAM's 32 gig. What the frick is going on with this game? Oh, you know what? I never actually went into the options here. Max, I just think about it. I did not do. Okay, first off, turn motion blur off. Good grief. View distance quality. Okay, I have a 4080 Super. This should not be a problem. I ain't got there's no ray tracing, it looks like. Okay, so look, this game, this should not be difficult to run.
A good day to you, my love.
And a good day to you too.
Why is it 15 gigs of VRAM?
Are we in New England?
There's be like PCMR loves to use their super.
Welcome
This
to
looks
America.
nice. This does not look better than a number like.
Charles's letter.
Well, I would say this, like animation wise,
The ghost
this
must be
actually
dangerous.
does look better than
Only
say
banishes
Cyberpunk animation.
And we shall charge him double.
But Cyberpunk be using path tracing, and the path tracing isn't as bad, like doesn't use this much VRAM.
Best be ready.
I'll be careful, Master Duarte. Your apprentice stands ready to serve. Come on, Atea, we need to go. Night be.
Rory McWraith, gallant to the last.
Life to the living, death to the dead.
Consider our lovers, Antea and Red, the greatest banishers I ever knew. Life to the living, we say, and death to the dead. It is not so simple. Since the dawn of humanity, the dead have lingered. Dead as alive, we are complex and emotional beings. Many and tangled are the ties that bind. Since the beginning of memory, banishers have fought to sever those ties. Death is but a trifle. It comes to us all. To haunt or be haunted. There lies the true horror.
Sorry, I had a text message from my son, so needed
I,
to handle
Charles
that.
Davenport, should know it.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna do.
Haunting of New Eden.
Since they don't know how to optimize their game, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it off a max frame rate because clearly, like that cutscene right there, it was at like 240 frames, and I got my monitor's 144. So like I can't even see those frames. So like, what's the purpose of having it push like that? So we're gonna max that thing out at 144.
To death.
Look,
I dearly wish I had not begged my friends to come and live.
GPU usage drops to 70%. It's still using nearly 15 gigs of VRAM. This is ridiculous, man. Brian says, I heard that the story of this game is really good, but the gameplay itself is kind of simple, and they set you up for some interesting decisions. Well, don't not, they're very story-centric, so that doesn't shock me at all.
Scotland.
London wasn't much better.
Look at it. It's cold as a bishop's arse. And twice as white. I
What?
don't mind saying it, I'm very disappointed.
Charles wasn't lying.
Why is a bishop's ass cold?
Death. You may well be disappointed.
I like this so far, though. For what I've been able to play with it without the crashes. But like Jedi Survivor, it keep crashing on me like this. It gonna get dropped like a bad habit.
You'd better be at the tavern. With a hot grog. Or two.
Do I control her? I feel like I'm about to control her the way that the camera pans. Yep, there we go.
I think I weary of long bowling sea voyages.
Now see,
faraway lands.
cutscene was
Can't
great,
remember
but
the
this
last
looks
time we did
like
something else than work.
this is max settings,
After
by
this,
the way.
we should set sail somewhere warm and safe.
This is 4K, and I'm getting
No such place.
now. Granted, I'm losing some frames
idea.
for streaming, but like it's in the 70s. I just feel like this is a very like last gen game design. Like this really shouldn't be pushing it the way. I just don't feel like Don't Nod did a good job optimizing this
How
game.
grim this place is.
I heard you the first time, but I don't disagree.
But it also could be doing some stuff in the background. It's first usage and everything. You know how Unreal Engine is with shaders and stuff. Like they do their pre-compilation of shaders, but it still doesn't get everything. Like what? See that's just bad texture work there. Yes, yeah, it doesn't look like any better than God of War 2018. God of War 2018 looks better than this, I would say.
I think we can get through
But then,
here.
you know, I wouldn't want to compare Sony Santa Monica to like Don't Nod to them. Like Don't Nod is a smaller team, less, you know, pedigree, mostly double A
Looks
kind
steady
of
enough.
stuff, you know. Got your typical sliding through a narrow thing here. Okay, I can't go that way.
Is it just me, or are we not welcome here?
Keep going. I'll find a way to meet up with you.
I feel like,
Overeager apprentices.
no. Where do I go? Back this way?
I can break my way through here.
Oh, I could wait. Through, oh, there. Okay, so that's the button to attack. This way. Uh-oh. What is that sound? The heck are you?
Down you go.
No, is that something behind me? Ooh, you tried it.
Everything all right down there?
Just a sneaky wanderer. You?
Yeah, we're good.
Same.
Can I climb up
I
this?
managed.
Nope.
These specters watching the road.
Maybe. But are they keeping people outside town? Or are they keeping them in?
Man, that VRAM usage is creeping up again. Yeah, I feel like there's a memory leak or something. Because it's just gone up another, like, half a gig. And, like, this is not worth 15 gigs of VRAM. Like, what I'm seeing right here.
Oh, more wanderers.
Behind you!
As easy as falling off a box. Can't tell how long these people are dead.
The original settlers, perhaps.
Whoever. This doesn't go
Should I go
well.
down that way or should I go this way? Let's go this way. Oh,
Petty feet.
attacking when your weapon fills the bandage gauge. When the bandage gauge is full, press A to banish your
Time to
target.
leave for good.
Okay. Oh, a lot of y'all here. What is this? Okay. Read. Perhaps these words will be lost in time, but I must write them. The date, I cannot say. I know it is the month of June in the year 1695. I thought we would be safer in Providence. I thought we would finally see the children again and the golden wheat fields would ring with their laughter. But their mother is now dead, and I shall join her soon. Something insidious walks the roads. Terrible spirits took us. New Eden is cursed. Now, who reads this now? I tell you. You who reads this now, I tell you, run. Yeah, I'm not much of a
People
runner.
left New Eden town just a few days ago. What exactly is going on here?
Wait, so is this his wife? So his wife died, and then he was like, "Let me go write in my journal." As like the ghouls is like taking him, you know. Interesting. So most of these metaphors don't. Most of these metaphors make sense. Which ones you talking about, Brian? Oh, the Alpha Wanderer, huh?
Well, you tried.
Yeah, she a little cocky.
That augurs badly for the case.
Situation's worse than you thought.
Let's wait to hear what Charles has to say.
And the thing is, I have DLSS on, and and these frame rate drops are happening. I imagine if I had it off.
Never a good sign.
Nice art, though. Nice atmosphere.
Isn't that what selectmen do?
With SloMo's
When we get to
knees,
town,
he meet
we may need to split up,
whatever.
cover more ground.
You may count on the most responsible student a banisher could have.
We'll see if you remember some of your teaching. If you're up for it.
Always.
New Eatontown. Whoa. And that is a traversal stutter where it's in the background loading the new area. Hey guy. Hi.
Did you a lecture on the sanctity of marriage?
You gonna let me in? What?
A pretty word for a set of shackles.
I'm sure folk here are just as open-minded as Charles.
Shoot. Not in this area. This dude just went back to sit down at his fire like he had anything better to do. Alright. Alright, we go to the inn. I feel like that's this in this direction. Is it in that label? The music made me feel like something's about to happen. About to be a like, what are you doing with that, niggers?
Charlie, we're here. Your prayers are answered. Pour us a drink. Finally.
Banisher, please come in. As it is called, your serving woman may sit while we talk.
Yo, what?
I'm the help. She's the boss. You're not Charles.
My name is Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McWraith. Good day to you, sirs, madam. Now, where's Charles?
Charles dead.
Minister Davenport said help was on its way. I assumed...
Keep digging, Fairfax. Good day. Pennington, captain of the train band. This here is Thickskin Newsmith.
Thick Skin Newsmith. What a name.
What's left of us? Why is Charles not here?
We're sorry for your loss. We'll do what we can for his widow.
The Reverend is dead.
I knew it.
When? How?
Terrible tragedy. Though our faith sustains us, we are still very much in shock.
Our shock at Reverend Davenport's killing is so great that we must sit here in comfort, losing precious time.
As governor of the colony of New Eden, it is my responsibility.
Look at us, sat here waiting to meet the same fate. We could all be
There's something
miles
going on
away
with the
by now.
animation. The animations and like it's like cutting
You
off
lot do what you want. I intend living.
each time it changes the camera. It seems to like
The esteemed select woman can be brusque.
I don't know, cut.
Forgive her.
It cuts it before the animation's
far
completed.
outweigh her malice, or lack thereof.
Her point still stands, Fairfax. Sitting here, doing nothing. We are as lambs
There's
to
some
the
film
slaughter.
grain being in use too.
Banshees are here. Surely with their expertise we may yet prevail.
Then I shall leave you and your expertise in ghosts and devils to find out. My expertise in blood and battle is of little use. Mistress Duarte, if I can be of service, yous may visit me at home. On the other side of the street, as it were.
Well, Governor, shall you leave or shall you stay?
For myself, I'll stay. Our company has suffered terribly. But we are worth saving. And now that you are here, save it we shall. Please, accept my sincerest condolences for the loss of your friend. We feel the loss of our minister so very keenly. Charles Davenport was a man of great knowledge and devotion, the pride indeed of New Eden. It discommodes me greatly to remember how we found his body in the cemetery. Indeed, it distresses me yet further to tell you that we do not know what so tragically cost him his life.
What do you think happened? Could your physicians not save him? I mean, I'm gonna say what do you think happened? Because clearly, if he's dead, we know the
What do you
physicians
think
couldn't save him.
I could guess, to little use. It is evident, however, that Charles's unexpected death is linked to his investigation of the curse. In the minister's absence, I try, in all humility, to protect us all, body and soul, from our ongoing peril. You see, in my youth, I too was something of a demonologist. Rather a good one, if I say so.
Let me pause this real quick because I feel like I'm seeing my frame rate kind of. I'm actually at 16 gigs of VRAM, which I only have 16 gigs of VRAM. 16.1, which means I got some pretty good silicon going in there. But this memory leakage that's going on, I believe, I need to. I mean, having a maximum frame rate count of 144 hertz doesn't matter when throughout that entire cutscene it wasn't even doing 60. So there's something here that I need to. You know what? Let's turn frame gen on real quick and see what happens. Outside of the game, my game freezing as soon as I turn that on. Oh boy. Oh snap, what the heck is that? Did the stream crash? No, the game crashed. Again. Hold on, let me make sure that, okay, are we good to go on the stream? Let's see here. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, so we're still up. Crash number 3. It could not handle me turning frame gen on. Oh my gosh. Okay, look, it got one more crash before I'm gonna say, let me go take a look online on what to do about this. But if it crashes again, I'm just gonna have to say, you know what, we gave it a good try. But this might not be a game that's good for streaming. So I got frame gen on now. This game should not need frame gen. Good grief. Okay, let's continue. Crash the. Start at the lowest setting, build it up. I don't think, Gregor, you know, I'll do that. I'll put everything on low, and I want to see what the VRAM usage is, because it should not be. I have never had my VRAM maxed out on this 4080 Super. This is the first time that's been the case. In the menu, it's already at 15 gigs. So let's go to low. On graphics low, it's still at 14.6 gig. Guaranteed. It oh my god. Oh my gosh, man. Crashed again. It doesn't matter. All right, look, man. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That is a wrap. We good here. So look, I'm gonna play a little bit more of it offline. Maybe it's just a game that like all running within the same system with OBS going. It doesn't play well with OBS, which sometimes that happens with games. And I remember I had that issue with Halo Infinite when it first came out. If I tried to stream myself playing Halo Infinite, it was crashing all the time. So, you know, maybe that's the case. I don't know. But what I do know is, this ain't working no more. And this time I probably should go ahead and just shut it down anyway, so I can go finish up some things with work, wrap work up, and then take care of dinner. So we're gonna call it the stream. Man, and it's funny because I was just talking about Jedi Survivor, and this is literally what Jedi Survivor was for me. Game crashing constantly. But, you know, what seemed to be a good game. Like, and I didn't get to play much of it, and I agree with Brian East about how simple the gameplay was. Even though it's very early on, I didn't really get a chance to do much. But if that's all it is and it doesn't really expand beyond that, yeah, that's pretty simple. But that said, like, I mean, I liked the story. Like, I thought that was very interesting. You know, these banishers, you got a mixed couple here, and you can definitely tell, like, there's some, like, hold on now. You know, like, the dude, automatically assuming the white dude was the guy, and she was just, like, help, and having it mixed. Like, I like that. I like the whole premise, and the atmosphere was really good. The music, the voice acting. It's just, you know, all that could be fine, but if I can't play the game, what more can I do? So I'm gonna try more off stream, but if it keeps crashing on me, I'm gonna give it another go. I'm just gonna have to uninstall it. And I forgot how Steam's return policy is. So I bought the game a little while ago, so I might not be able to return it. I think this is less than 2 hours. So if it keeps crashing, and I think I've only played it for like an hour, I could still be able to get a refund on it and be like, hey, yo, look, the game keeps crashing. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll see what happens, though. Shout out to all you guys for coming through. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your hump day. What's up, Yobi? Yeah, Yobi, how's it going, man? He's just that's what I wanted to see. That it crashed on low settings too. Gregor, that's what you wanted to see. But no, this is yeah, I'm about to get by here. Appreciate you guys for coming through, like I said, and check out tomorrow DPS podcast. We're gonna have a good show with the homie Gaming Forte. We'll have a good time as usual. Might have a special guest or two. We'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. And but no, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your games. Peace out.